Now here's some really cool news, and this news, I feel like talking about this, we're gonna end up sounding like grandpas, but we have to. Look, we're gonna have to do it, man, because we're gonna have to sound like grandpas. Funimation is streaming the One Piece episode of East Blue special, right? And if anyone doesn't know what this is, I remember, Tristan, you were telling me about it. I brought the article to you, and then you were like, "Oh, that's going to be like a recap," and you actually really hyped about it. So apparently, it's a recap because it is One Piece's. What is it? It's 20th anniversary now. Is that what it is? Is it? Yes, 20th. No, 30 would be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Right. So it's 20th anniversary, and obviously, it's crazy to think about because, like, we got One Piece still a little over 10 years ago. So it's been a while. But, I mean, my God, 20 years is insane, right? To still be going. I mean, just last week we talked about Detective Conan being at 1,000 chapters.
Right.
But it's still crazy to think, like, this came out around the same time and it's still going. And it's a shonen anime, which obviously are known to go long, but my God, 20 years. That's nuts. To me, that's like, it's just crazy to think about, right? But the reason why we're coming off as grandpas is because Funimation is streaming this. I know I mentioned that already, but they're streaming it live. So it's airing in Japan live, and this is being streamed at the same time. Now, you can assume that Funimation is doing it, or is able to do it, because I don't know if he's still running Funimation, but I believe it was Gen Fukunaga, as an ex-Toei executive, and then he started Funimation. So, there isn't a little bit of an end there. So that might be why they're able to do this. But also, I mean, Funimation, right, they're huge right now. They're getting money from Sony. Sony's investing in them. So I'm in no way trying to sit here and be like, yeah, those Funimation guys, they're just whatever. It's like, no, obviously Funimation is huge. But the reason why we're going to sound like grandpas is because, remember back in our day, Tristan, when we got Dragon Ball Z a few years after it ended. In Japan. It ended in Japan in 1995, and we got it in 97 or 99. I don't remember. I'm old. I don't remember the year that I watched it. I'm old. But in all seriousness, though, right? We, putting aside the fact that it's being streamed, just being able to see it in general on the same day that it's airing in Japan. Like, anytime anyone our age or older is like, do you remember the good old days? No, I do not remember any good old days. Alright? Even though VHS trading was before our time. Just hearing about it, yes, you can, some people try to word it as like, oh, it's a thrill of the hunt. Yeah, there are people that, and I know it might be morbid here, but let's just be real here. There are people that died who were unable to see a full series of an anime. They only saw 4 episodes and read the rest online. Because back then, you literally were like, I have one VHS tape that has 4 episodes on it. I'm going to read about the rest of it online. Because there was no other way you could consume it. Yeah. Downloading it, right? Getting it on a streaming site, coming directly to your home. Like, imagine going back in time and talking to people about streaming. They'd be looking at you like, do you mean cable? Yes, cable, but on your computer. Are you a witch? What do you mean? You'd be locked up. People would be like, you're crazy. What do you mean? So, like, something like this sounds like something 20 years ago. You'd be like, oh man, wouldn't it be really cool if we could watch it when it's out in Japan? Be like, you're crazy. That could never happen.
That'll never happen.
Yes. Now, obviously, it isn't being, like, simul-dubbed or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But still, the fact that it's just, being streamed at the same time, to me, it's just crazy. The only thing that I'll say is, I don't know, like, people are going to watch it because they love One Piece. People have been fans of One Piece for a long time. But it's kind of, I guess, maybe funny in a way because, like, Funimation did pick it up a while ago, yes. But, I don't know, it's kind of just like, it makes me chuckle a little bit because I know that we got it like 10-ish years ago, but I feel like compared to the 20-year span of like Japanese fans, like, wow, I'm 25 now, and I grew up with this, right? We're here just kind of like, I remember 7 years ago, right? Like, because Funimation, they picked it up, I think, maybe like, what, like 2010? Or was it a little earlier? Oh, God, it might have been 2008. Or 2008. Oh, God. Oh, God, it might have been...
Yeah, I think it was a little bit earlier.
Okay, God, We are
And
getting old. Uh,
that's why for me it feels like, I mean, it's the 20th anniversary, so
hmm,
yeah, but it's interesting to see them go back and do kind of like, a rehash of the East Blue, of how the crew got together. And the crew of the Straw Hat Crew's come a long way.
hmm,
They've gone through a time skip. They've had their
right.
characters like redesigned a bit. So it's kind of nice to go back and see, their origins, because it has been a while. I mean, I
Yeah.
still remember that stuff because that was when it was on for me, when I was keeping up with it and watching it.
Hmm.
But like it's
Yeah.
nice to see them go back to it. It's like an homage to like how the old Dragon Ball movies used to be, kind of like a compilation of what was going on in the series.
Right. Yes. A lot of movies, not just the Dragon Ball movies that we've done. Also, as we've also podcasted on. It's not just those. A bunch of movies back in the day, anime movies, would do compilation stuff. Nowadays, that's mostly died out. I mean, the newest one that I can think of. Well, I hadn't seen it, but there was one for Madoka, right? But the one that I can think of that I've seen, the most recent, was, funnily enough, in '08 when Funimation did One Piece movie 8, which was just a compilation of the Alabasta arc, which I own that movie, and I still look at it. I think I got it for $5. That's why I have it. I got it for $5. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, why do you exist? This is 2008. What are you doing here, right? But I think it was a great thing for Funimation because, funnily enough, if anyone doesn't remember, that's the first movie they ever dubbed.
Yeah.
Funimation dubbed 8. I think they did 9. I know they've done 10 and then the movies afterwards. But it's just interesting to have them do this special. That's another thing I really want to mention. That we've done a podcast on One Piece specials before, and usually there's a very interesting, like, it's hard to get the rights for that down. That's why the Dragon Ball Z specials, like all the newer ones, like Hey Son Goku or Yo Son Goku Returns, the Bardock one, the one that came, both ones that came with video games. The Revenge of the Saiyans and then Super Saiyans. You know what I'm thinking of, right? With Hachiak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those don't exist in English. Obviously, the one that came with Raging Blast 2 does, but that was with the disc. And that was subbed. But they haven't been dubbed because that requires so many other contracts that they would have to sign, and then people have to be paid the royalties here and there. So, or maybe they won't sign off on it, right? So when it comes to this, it's being a TV special and all, I guess because it's a recap and because it's new. But yeah, like I do wonder one day if Funimation will ever go back and do those old movies. I really do wonder because they haven't. I don't think they've even talked about them. I'm sure there's maybe some interview somewhere at a con, but yeah, I've never really heard them discuss the old movies. So I think it's really cool that even though yes, it's new animation, it's still their way of doing it's still like their first ever special that they've done. Because they've done, I think, no other specials unless I would say, if there was maybe a small little special that was released in like theaters with a movie, maybe like Strong World or something, I would assume that would go on the Strong World disc or other
Right.
movie disc. But when it comes to the podcast that we've done on TV specials or OVAs, I mean, even when we saw them, they were like really old Laserdisc quality. Yeah, remember? Like they
Right.
were like really old. Because I mean, who even knows if Toei still has the masters for them?
Right.
Like they might have some. And that's nothing against Toei. Just a lot of companies, they didn't think of keeping up with keeping their masters well. I guess well kept or well protected because they had to move on to the next show. That would just mean warehouses of more and more and more stuff. So for all we know, Funimation is wary of doing it because, the audio quality or the video quality is not up to snuff. But I mean, that's just speculation on my end. Either way, we're getting old, Tristan. And nowadays, it's going to get to the point where it's just going to be like, hey, this anime is going to come out in Japan. It's already out in the US first. You mean like with Space Dandy, like a few days first? No. A year before. But I don't understand. Like how some video games in the Japanese market, they come out in America first. It's gonna be just like that, but with anime. We're gonna get our anime here first, and people are gonna start arguing about it. Like, but it's not anime if it came out in the U.S. first. But it was made by a Japanese company. Literally every step of the way. But it's out in America first, so it doesn't count. It's gonna happen, Tristan.
Oh no.
It's gonna be the anime wars. That's what it's gonna be. just the anime apocalypse. I hope that you ride with me during the anime apocalypse.